Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Sports Desk. I'm your host, Splash or Ryan or whatever the heck you want to feel like calling me today. I'm joined with Jack, as always, and we're joined with Stefan, of course. How's it going, guys?
Pretty good. Can't complain.
It's game week.
I'm trying to conceal the excitement of Thursday night.
I am so excited, man. I cannot believe I did a live stream with Henry last night. We were going over some locks, our Labor Day locks. Check it out. It's on the YouTube if you haven't seen it already. Oh man, it is so exciting for football to be back. I cannot even begin to describe how excited I am to watch Lamar Jackson on Monday night. Oh boy, I'm chomping at the bit. I am every cliche known to man right now. I'm so excited. And I would have to imagine you guys are uber excited as well.
Oh yeah.
The Thursday night game is 2 days away. I'm just
we've got the primetime games. Splash, you got the Monday night
hours. 50 hours away.
We got the Sunday night game against Chicago. That'll be fun. So looking forward to it.
So let's jump right into week 1 preview. First game on the docket, the Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dallas +8, Tampa -8. The over-under is at 52 if you're interested in betting. I know I am. I know Stefan is. What are we leaning? Opening game of the season. Does Tampa come out and steamroll Dallas, or can Dallas have a little fight in them?
I think it'll be like a blowout / shootout where it's like I'm gonna go on a limb and say at least Tampa 35, Dallas 21. So I think it'll hit the over in that one. I think it'll hit the spread either way. I just don't see Tampa losing this one. I don't see the Bucs being worse, than were last year. They had a whole offseason. Dallas is coming back. Dak is 100%, they say, but I still don't really know what's going to happen. And they don't have their guard out there, so it's going to be tough. But I think Tampa comes out, guns blazing, cannons firing.
For sure. What do you say, Jack?
I mean, I'm pretty much in agreement with the whole thing about Dak. I mean, yeah, they say he's full go, he's coming back, but do we know if he's actually going to play at 100%? We don't know for sure yet. The Buccaneers, I mean, we don't know for sure either. They could be having a little bit of the, I don't want to say Super Bowl hangover because they want it, but it still, I guess, exists regardless of whether or not you win or lose. I don't know. But this could be a pretty close game. I feel like. I think I'm predicting that Dak isn't going to be at full strength just yet, but I think the Buccaneers might get off to a little bit of a sluggish start, but I think they'll kind of pick it up as the game goes along. So
I think that's fair. This one. I said on air yesterday I was taking Dallas +8. I have mixed feelings about it. I said all offseason Dallas was going to come in and beat Tampa. I'm souring on that take a little bit, but I still think Dallas covers the 8. I think that's a lot of points. Dallas is an awesome offense. I know Zach Martin's not going to be there. I know Dak isn't fully healthy. I know CeeDee Lamb had been dealing with some issues. I think he may be on the COVID list. But at a certain point, points will be scored Thursday night, and it just doesn't matter. I think Dallas is going to score enough points to cover. So I'll take Dallas +8. I do think Tampa wins, but it's going to be closer than people expect it to be.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm personally staying away from the spread for this one. I don't know. Like I said, it could be a good one, but the one thing I do know is the over. I'm more confident in the over than the under, just because the defenses are good. Dallas is more suspect, but I feel like Dallas can get into a shootout with Tampa Bay just as easy as they could the other way around.
That's fair. All right, we're going to kind of go rapid fire through the 1 o'clock games because there's a lot of them, and you guys don't have all the time in the world. I'm just going to say the two teams. You tell me who you think wins. Give me one key for the game. First off, Cardinals at Titans. Titans favored by 3.
I think the Cardinals, that Tennessee defense, I don't know if that Tennessee defense can keep up with that 3 wide receiver set. Kyler Murray, James Conner, and Chase Edmonds might be too much for that defense.
Okay. Jack?
I think that Derrick Henry might be too much for the Cardinals defense. I think it's going to be a running attack to start things out, but they could test the wide receiver duo, A.J. Brown, Julio Jones pretty early on, so we'll see.
Yeah, I'll take Tennessee -3. Jacksonville at Houston, maybe the worst game of the week. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a really stupid game.
It sounds like a Thursday night game,
Yeah,
It's like, why are they playing?
It sounds like even like a college game. But Trevor Lawrence debut, Jacksonville is 3-point favorites on the road. What are we thinking?
Jags, that defense can stop Tyrod Taylor. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
Yeah,
Jack?
I feel like it's like probably something that we should mention in here that we might talk about it later. I don't know, but what's his name?
Hello,
I
Cindy.
forgot his name for whatever reason. Tyrod Taylor gonna be the starter while Deshaun Watson sits.
Yeah, he's the third stringer.
If
Davis
Deshaun Watson
Mills.
was playing, I would say Houston, but
He's
For
not,
sure.
and he kind of Deshaun Watson has kind of been the heart and soul of that team for a while. So I think that Trevor Lawrence gets the W in his debut.
Okay, I'm gonna take Houston with the money line. I think Houston wins one game, and people think, oh, this team might not be as bad as people think, and then they're gonna like lose out.
That always happens.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be an ugly season for Houston. As much as I do like Tyrod Taylor, he is a Super Bowl champion, but I don't see it. They might be competitive. I think they do beat Jacksonville though, so I'll take Houston money line. But they're not going to win too many more games. We have the Chargers, Jack's favorite team, at the Washington football team. The Chargers are 1-point favorites on the road. What are we thinking?
that's going to be a slugfest.
Yeah.
I kind of have a feeling like this one might be a little bit explosive.
It might slip to Washington, but like it's not going to be like a decisive win. It's going to be like one of those like either 3-point wins. It's going to be, like I said, a good one,
like some
but I
kind
think
of
Washington.
some kind of fluke at the end is going to make it happen, or mistake at the end that one team makes is going to give it to the other team. So I'm
And
going
the
to
Chargers have the bad rep for that.
They do, and for that reason, I'm going to pick Washington, but that's not like a 100% confident pick. I feel like maybe the Chargers might be able to steal one. You just
Ask me on Sunday.
I think I'm gonna lean Washington. I need to see the Chargers offense look good, right? I need to see the offensive line perform. They added, I believe they're gonna have 3 week 1 starters that are just brand new with Lindsley at center, Rashawn Slater left tackle, and Matt Filer. I need to see it. I trust Washington's defense. I trust their front. I trust everything about their defense. I need to trust the Chargers defense or Chargers offense first.
I need to also trust the Chargers special teams because
This
what has their special teams done in the offseason? What changes them? Like I think Badgley got cut. I don't know.
Yeah, I've never heard of their current kicker, but hey, that's beside the point. I'll take Washington with the Washington straight up. Let's do that. All right, Minnesota at Cincinnati. Joe Burrow is back, but the Vikings are 3-point favorites in Cincinnati. What are we thinking?
Cincinnati. I think that offense is just high powered. I think the offense for Minnesota loses it for them. I don't think it's the defense. I think it's the offense.
Mm-hmm.
I might be giving that credit to that trio of receivers, but I think they squeak out a win by like maybe 3-4 points. But it's not going to be something that we're going to look back on and go, "Wow, that was a bad game for the Vikings."
Okay, Jack.
Minnesota. I feel like I just feel like the complete opposite again. I feel like they get Dalvin Cook going, they get Adam Thielen going, Justin Jefferson going. I feel like that if they all get out to a hot start, then they're gonna get the W.
For sure. I'm taking Minnesota -3. I don't trust Zach Taylor, and that is my only complaint with the Cincinnati Bengals. You have the worst coach in the NFL. You're going to lose games you should win. You're going to lose games you should be competitive in. I'll take Minnesota -3. We have everyone's favorite New York Jets at the Carolina Panthers. Sam Darnold versus Zach Wilson. What a storyline. Panthers are favored by 5.5. What are we thinking, boys?
I'm taking Carolina, and I'm taking Lamar Darnold all day long.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, Jack, let's hear it.
I kind of agree. I think that Darnold gets his revenge on the Jets, and they.
Ooh.
I don't want to say they wipe the floor with them. I think Zach Wilson might make it a little bit competitive to start out with, but I think eventually the Panthers might pull away, assuming we have a fully healthy CMC as well. I think that's a big factor. So
they just have so many weapons, and I think it's a statement game for Sam Darnold.
Yeah,
I think Carolina wins, but I will take Jets +5.5. I don't think this game is going to be that high scoring. Sam Darnold has been a bad NFL quarterback. The offensive line is bad. The Jets, you have a rookie quarterback. You have weapons, but how much do you expect Ty Johnson, Michael Carter, Tevin Coleman, Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, etc.? How much do you expect them to do? First game, rookie quarterback, 2 inexperienced offensive line, talented offensive line for sure, but your best 2 players have played a total of 16 NFL games, if that. Defensively, the Jets could be a mess, but they do have the matchup defensive line versus Carolina's front. I don't think Carolina is going to just roll through this. I think this is a sloppy, 17-14 game that I feel bad if you're living in New York and have to watch this. I feel bad if you're living in Charlotte and have to watch this and you can't watch other games that are going to be much more exciting. I'm thinking 17-14, it comes down to a field goal, either a field goal missed by the Jets, field goal make by Carolina. I don't think Carolina runs away with it. So Jets +5, Carolina wins, though.
I'm pretty much in agreement there. I don't think they run away with it by any means. I just think that maybe they'll gain an advantage a little bit late in the game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. We have a bird game. Eagles at Falcons.
Our first battle of the birds.
Yeah. We have Falcons favored by 3 at home. What are we thinking? Stefan, I'll start with you.
When he unmutes. I'm going to take Atlanta with the +3.
-3.
I'm sorry, -3. I like the Eagles' offense. I just don't like their defense. Mm-hmm. I like Atlanta's offense as well, and their defense has gotten a little bit better than last year. I mean, they weren't the worst of the worst, but I didn't see improvements from the Eagles enough to actually go out there and do that. So Falcons -3.
All right, Jack.
I'm gonna go with a hot take here. Kyle Pitts gets 3 touchdowns.
Whoa. Okay.
In the first game.
Wow.
I think he gets 3.
Okay.
I think they're going to see what he can do. They're going to test him a little bit.
I like it. I hate the matchup for Philadelphia because I don't think they have anyone on their team that can cover Kyle Pitts.
Exactly, and that's why I think he's going to run wild. I think they realize how weak the team the Eagles are. They're going to see, all right, this is your chance. Let's see what you can do. And he goes off. I think he gets 3 touchdowns.
I tend to like to play devil's advocate when we disagree on things. I don't think this Eagles team is very good. They have pieces of the team. The offensive line is healthy. That's good. The defensive line is really good. But the auxiliary pieces, Jalen Hurts hasn't proven anything yet. Miles Sanders is an above-average running back. Congratulations. The receiving core is Devontae Smith and a bunch of not really anything. The linebackers might be the worst single unit in the NFL outside of, Panthers quarterback room or Jets corner room, or Texans roster in general. Then the secondary is Darius Slay and a whole lot of Anthony Harris is there. That's fair. But I don't know. I don't like this matchup for Philadelphia. Philadelphia has to win games in the trenches. They have to exploit a bad offensive line or a bad defensive line. And those are, I don't want to say the strengths of Atlanta because you have Ridley and you have star linebackers and you have Pitts, of course. But Atlanta has a good offensive line. I will go to the grave. This is my standing on an island. Atlanta's going to have a top 5 offensive line this year, and they're going to have guys in all-pro consideration. Atlanta wins this. I don't know if it's close. I think Atlanta turns it up, and the Philadelphia's secondary matchups, so primary, secondary, not their defensive backs. Who is going to win one-on-one in the wide receiver room? Devontae Smith is, but that's one player, rookie, first NFL game. Dallas Goedert is fine, but Deion Jones and Aluakun are good coverage players. I don't really see it from Philadelphia this week. I think this. Bet $100. Bet $100.
I was waiting for him to say something.
I don't know about that one. I try to bet in smaller increments, but I am going to go Falcons -3.
Okay.
We're moving on. This is Pittsburgh at Buffalo. Bills are favored by 6.5. Stefan, I will start with you.
I'm going to go with Buffalo.
Yes.
It's going to be weird. I don't know, that contract situation right now with Watt. So if he is out week 1, I'm leaning in Buffalo. I'll even take it at a 7. But that defense, if they can stop Big Ben, which I see they can, Big Ben's older. He's a little more worn and torn. That offense is just going to go light it up. I think as good as the Steelers defense is, that Buffalo offense is just a little bit better. and all it has to do with Josh Allen, Stefan Diggs. So I'm going to take, if anything, the over in this game, and I'm taking Buffalo.
Ooh, the over. It's 48.5. Are you sure about that? Okay.
Yeah.
Jack, let's hear it.
Okay. All right. But I do think that Josh Allen's, I agree that he's going to get going. I think that him and Stefan Diggs are going to have a pretty strong connection. I always forget who their running back is.
Singletary
Zach
and
Moss. Yeah.
Singletary and Zach Moss. Yeah, they have two. I think that they might go with that committee approach again, and offense is just going to be. I don't think Pittsburgh is going to roll over. I think that especially if TJ Watt does end up playing and they sort that situation out, I think that Pittsburgh has a chance in this game too, especially with Najee Harris at running back. I think he could probably make some noise in his debut. It's going to be a close one, so I can understand why you're taking the over, but I'm going to go Buffalo.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh can be better than people think they are, but this, I think Buffalo wins this by 7, and that means I'm taking Buffalo minus 6.5. I do want to address Tegan's comments. I bet you that Philly's offensive line bullies the Falcons' defensive line. Yes, but I don't think it's going to be as big of a mismatch as you make it out to be. Miles Sanders, huge day. Grady Jarrett is still there. Marlon Davidson has a lot of potential. The Falcons have some pieces, and then they have super athletic linebackers in Oluokun and Jones. I don't know. I don't see a big day for that Philly passing or Philly rushing attack. I think they're going to have to throw the ball a lot, and I don't necessarily trust Jalen Hurts to get in a shootout. With Matt Ryan and Calvin Ridley and Kyle Pitts. So moving on, we're jumping back to the NFC West. Shout out to Jack. Niners at Lions. This is, I think, the biggest spread of the week. 49ers favored by 7 I guess Dallas was down by 8, but the 49ers are favored by 7.5 on the road against the Lions. What are we thinking?
Lions.
Give me the 49ers.
Yeah, the Lions are not going to be. I don't know. It's just ugly. There's no receiving core on that team. I mean, DeAndre Swift's playing, but is he going to be healthy? Is it just going to be the Jamal Williams show? Jared Goff.
Yeah, I was going to mention Jared Goff. I mean, all the talk surrounding Goff so far is that he's, improving, and he has some kind of vengeance about him. He wants to prove he still has what it takes. Okay, can I see it first, please?
Say really quick to that, if he can do that, they will give him what they call the buffs, like a pair of glasses, the Detroit style glasses. So until then, I don't think Jared Goff's
see it. I really got to see it from Goff that he can take a bad situation and turn it into a good one. I haven't seen that from him since 2018. So,
and even then, you're being coached by McVay. Niners by 7.5. I'm pretty set on that. One of the closer games of the week: Seahawks at Colts.
Ooh.
At Lucas Oil. Seahawks favored by 2.5. Wentz is going to play, per source. Quentin Nelson is going to play, per source. So the Colts will be healthy to some degree. Seattle's coming in. What are we thinking?
I mean, they'll be healthy, but I really like Russell Wilson in this matchup against Carson Wentz. I think that Wentz was we all know where Wentz was last year. He was on and off the team too. We already pretty much knew he was going to be out of Philadelphia. And he already didn't play at a pretty high level. Russ, when he was in Seattle, at least for the first 5 weeks of the year, he was in MVP talks. It's way too early MVP talks, but still, that's better than what Carson Wentz was at. And I'm kind of just basing this off of last year, but I think the proof is kind of there already that Russell Wilson. I'm pretty much, if this was based solely on the quarterback matchup, Seahawks take this one, but I also like the Seahawks receiving core too. I think it's a more proven receiving core. You got Tyler Lockett, who's never dropped a catch in the end zone.
I didn't know that.
Or the red zone, I think too.
Yeah. That's awesome.
DK Metcalf, we know what he can do. I trust Seattle's offense a lot more than I do Indianapolis's. So,
all right, Stefan, let's hear it.
Honestly, I'm hopping on the bandwagon with Jack. I just that offense is without a quarterback. Even with Eason, I know how much you like the guy. That Seattle offense is just too high powered. You can name a bunch of players, Gerald Everett, even I'm high on. Those guys down to that court, they're just gonna have their way with the Colts. I'm taking Seattle with the spread. You can give it to me at plus 6.5. I just think that offense is just too high powered.
I think you mentioned Gerald Everett. I want to see a little more consistency out of him.
I think he's gonna be. Because you don't sign a tight end like that and not utilize him when he still kind of have that much left in the tank.
He
Mhm.
was last year on the Rams. He was inconsistent.
Right.
He was going from making these crazy catches, like how the heck does he catch that ball, to dropping a pass in the end zone from John
Mhm.
Wolford. It was like a picture perfect pass, and he just butterfingers it. So
I think Russell Wilson is a better because you saw Will Disley before he got hurt. He was a monster in fantasy and just in the game in general. And Everett is poised so far. That's some talk.
I think
that
my
he's gonna be that
point
guy.
with Everett is that if he could find a good role and find consistency with this team, he can do some damage.
And here's his role. Jack, you know how Sean McVay runs his offense, right?
Yeah.
You watch it every week. If you watch Seattle this season, they're going to look more like the Rams than maybe the Rams do.
Absolutely, they will, because
They brought
they
in,
got
I'm totally blanking. They brought in a new offensive coordinator
Shane
from
Waldron.
Shane Waldron from the Rams coaching tree. They're going to run a lot of 11 personnel. That means one running back, one tight end, so Carson and Everett. Then you have 3 receivers, Metcalf, Lockett, Eskridge. Metcalf is going to be the take the ball deep, take the top of the defense. Lockett's going to be the intermediate guy, and then Eskridge can be the little, I don't know, think like Debo and Ayuk in San Francisco, or think like a Miami Jarvis Landry, more of like or Laviska Shenault in Jacksonville, that you're not necessarily only scheming touches for them because they can do other things, but they're getting 4 or 5 touches a game just on scheme, just on principle of getting the ball in their hands. This is going to be a really exciting Seattle offense. I'm going to throw a couple dollars on Russell Wilson to win MVP. And Seattle, I'll take Seattle by 2.5. And I do want to mention Tegan. Taylor might have a day.
That D line is not the best, but it's also not the worst. Is
they
Quentin
can
Nelson
be a
going to play?
competent run. Yeah, Quentin Nelson's going to play. They can be a competent run defense. Like you have Wagner, he's a good run defender. It's a well-coached defense. It's just the talent may not be there. So coverage, Carson Wentz could throw for 300 yards Sunday, but I don't think Taylor's going to have that big of a day. So we move on to the 4:00 games, or for Jack and I, the 1 o'clock games.
Okay, the games will be fully awake for.
Yes. Browns at Chiefs. I think this is the game of the week. Chiefs are favored by 6.5. What are we thinking? Stefan, I'll start with you.
So I'm going to say this because I said it before. This will be the game that the Chiefs win. But come playoff time, the Browns are going to win that second game. But I think as of right now, opening game, Chiefs are hot. There's no Super Bowl hangover for them because they're going to be in it probably the next few years out of the next whatever. They're just a better team. I think the defense for the Browns is better than defensive line got Jadeveon Clowney, but I think Mahomes is just too much for Baker Mayfield, and that it's going to be at least I would say a 10-point win for them in week 1.
All right, Jack, what are you thinking?
I think it's going to be a slugfest. I think it's going to be
over-under, by the way, is 54.5.
Jesus.
So Vegas thinks like a 30-24 game.
Yeah, I would take the over here. I think this is going to be a slugfest. I really think that you're going to see Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes kind of going at it, like throwing haymakers back and forth. Tyreek Hill, he's going to go crazy. I want to see a fully healthy OBJ.
Oh,
I think
yes. I'm so excited. I hate that I'm so excited, but yes.
Yes, I know. I would like to see him going off and being a real contributor this year. If he is in this game, it's gonna come down to the wire. Maybe by a field goal, somebody wins it. So
There's gonna be a lot of high scoring games, I think, week 1, just because it's like the first week.
I don't know. I'm leaning under on everything because I just on principle, I think more unders are going to hit early in the season because I think Vegas skewed the wrong direction last year because there were so many high scoring games. Stefan, you sent a graphic in the chat earlier, like 24.7 points per game across the league. I don't think that's ever happened before. I'm going to say that ticks down a little bit. But I am going to take the Cleveland Browns straight up. I wish I could do a parlay that was Browns beat the Chiefs, and then Chiefs next week favored by I don't know what they would be favored by at Baltimore.
Oh,
Yeah, like Chiefs minus 10. If I could parlay Browns beat the Chiefs, then Ravens get clobbered by the Chiefs.
Oh, no.
I would bet quite a lot of money on that, as sad as that seems.
Isn't
I
that
think
the
Browns
one
win this
matchup they
game.
always lose? The Ravens.
Yeah,
always
it
lose.
is like Lamar Jackson is 30-7 as a starter. If he's playing anyone besides Patrick Mahomes, it's 30-4.
Oh boy,
30-4.
that's absurd.
Anyways, I think the Browns will win this game. I think they will put everyone on notice. And I was
Did I
writing
pick
about
a
them
winner?
yesterday.
I don't think I picked the winner. I'm gonna go Chiefs, but
Okay.
don't think I
I said the Browns are going to have a 2019 Ravens style season that they just romp folks. So I think the Chiefs are better in the long run. I think the Chiefs would beat them in the playoffs, unlike what Stefan said, ironically. But I think the Browns win week 1. And I will be putting money on that very soon. All right. The snooze fest of the 4 o'clock window. We have the Denver Broncos at the New York Football Giants. The Broncos, led by Teddy Bridgewater, are favored by 3 points. The over-under is 41.5. Even Vegas knows there will be no points scored in this game. What are we thinking?
do we like the Broncos without Drew Lock?
Teddy's is, I mean, he's not
Teddy-
the worst.
He's bad.
He's the
bad.
wild card. I think he's bad, but I don't think he's Drew Lock bad.
Because that defense is going to be decently good. Like, I think more than people know. But if Teddy can sit there and consistently supply 3 receiver sets with Noah Fant and Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon, he's got what it takes to have that offense. But it's just up to him. And if not, they're going to Drew Lock. And you know what we feel about Drew Lock.
Yeah. So that's probably why.
This is the weirdest thing to me because, as everyone knows, I am a Drew Lock hater. But it's probably better for Denver if he starts than Teddy Bridgewater because Bridgewater does nothing to help you. It's the cliche that he's going to win you, or Lock will win you some games. He will also lose you some games. Teddy Bridgewater isn't winning you anything. Like if you're down 3 with 2 minutes to go, I have zero faith in Teddy Bridgewater. Drew Lock can make the throws necessary to win that game. I don't think he wins the game, but he can make the throws necessary to win a game. I don't trust Teddy, and which is so strange because he has this reputation as a game manager, but he's not good at it. That's the issue, and I think Locke would be the better quarterback here. I would say if I were ranking the quarterbacks, I would take Teddy over Locke, but in this situation, this is an awesome roster, and they're going to need holy Christmas. I'm going to need – wow, okay. Denver needs – a play here, a play there, and they're going to be really, really good. Drew Lock, I think, could provide some of those. He's also going to screw you over a million times. He's going to have, 30 big-time throws and 20 turnover-worthy plays. He does that every year. Teddy Bridgewater is going to get you like 5 good throws a year. I don't know. Roster-wise, I would lean Denver here. I'm probably taking the Giants +3 because I think this is going to be a really low, like 17-14 kind of game. And I'll take the +3 for the Giants. Maybe it's like a 17-15 or a 14-12, something like that.
It's only a wacky number.
Yeah,
I'm going Denver too.
Scorigami alert! Scorigami alert! Denver at the Giants. Scorigami alert! It could be a safety somewhere.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. Love Scorigami.
Scorigami's fun.
Now we have an interesting one. Packers versus Saints, going to be held in Jacksonville because of Hurricane Ida. Packers are favored by 4.5. What are we thinking?
I think the Packers will top off these guys.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be at least Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers' revenge season. So this guy is going to just come out with Adams. I think at least a 31 to like 21, 24. Nothing like too blown out of the water, but like you're going to see the Packers as a dominant, like more of the dominant team, but Jameis Winston likes to just air it out. So it's going to be close.
I think they're going to play the way they did against the Rams in the divisional game last year. They didn't completely run away with the game or anything, but it felt like they were in control the whole time because of how mistake-free their offense was. I think we get a repeat of that.
Ravens just signed Le'Veon Bell, by the way.
For the freaking – oh, my – are you serious?
Real quick. So last year I drafted Clyde Edwards-Helaire in fantasy. Who did they sign? Le'Veon Bell. I drafted Gus Edwards this year. Who do they sign? Le'Veon Bell. This guy doesn't leave me alone.
Oh, okay. Practice squad. Okay,
It's
that's
practice
fine.
squad for now, but they're playing. It says the tweet from Schefter says he's soon likely to be added to the 53
They have to
roster
teach him
already.
the playbook real quick.
I don't.
I don't.
I wanted to lead with that. I forgot to lead with that. I don't. Justice Hall. He misspelled that. I don't want a high-profile RB3. I just don't. It creates unnecessary chaos. It creates it. How much are you paying Bell? You're going to pay Bell more than you would with Nate McCrary, the guy that was the most recent cut in our RB room. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
It's probably a 1-year thing, to be honest.
I know, but
I don't think because I don't think he's going to take away because he didn't take away much from last year's Chiefs team, and honestly, the Chiefs.
he
I don't know why
he totally ruined Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He
ruined Clyde. I think John Harbaugh being the guy that he is, he's a lot smarter than that, and I think Gus Edwards and their backup is Tyson Williams.
You think John Harbaugh is smarter than Andy Reid?
Honestly, when it comes to running the ball and it comes to running his own personal team, I believe he does. Okay. So I think Harbaugh is not going to sit there and just kill Gus Edwards' confidence. Yes, it's going to dip into his stuff because anyone else, they have to sign somebody. There were going to be 3 running backs on that team regardless.
Yeah, I would prefer to bring back
they've lost.
So what are we going to do? You can't be a team in Harbaugh and not sign Gurley, Bell, whoever's out there because that's all you have to sign.
Gurley would be worse.
At least it's not Gurley.
I agree. Not
Gurley.
But they had to sign somebody because the Bucs last year had to sign Leonard Fournette. It wasn't pretty, but hey, it worked. It's not going to kill it. It's just going to put you have to bolster it.
I'm angry to think about
Le'Veon Bell to touch the foot. I
don't either.
I know he was an incredibly talented player. I think he's a Hall of Famer with Pittsburgh. I don't want him touching the football with the Ravens. I would rather give 10 carries a game to Tyson Williams. I
believe they should do that. I don't think Le'Veon Bell is worthy of an RB2 anymore because what did he do in the best offense in the NFL? He just hurt a rookie that could have been better.
Inefficient. He was incredibly inefficient. And here's the problem that I want to acknowledge this before Le'Veon Bell has a good game with Baltimore because it's inevitable. It's going to have that one game. Mark Ingram was a Pro Bowler in 2019. Mark Ingram was not a talent like a Pro Bowler. He just was uber productive because his quarterback is Lamar Jackson and it's an awesome running scheme. So Bell will be productive, more productive than you think he is. I'm well aware of that, but it's just I think it's an unnecessary headache.
Behind the scenes too.
You can't give all.
I'm just bummed about
I'm gonna try to make Splash feel a little better about this. I know how you feel. I think just because there's so many missing carries there, you have to give it to somebody without injuring Lamar Jackson, Gus Edwards, and Tyson Williams. Yeah. So it's only fair to think, okay, we're a team. It should be not the worst thing, but hey, at least you got someone.
Like you were saying too, they need somebody, and I mean it's really, really unfortunate what's happened to the Ravens running back room this year. Like
J.K. Dobbins and Hill.
J.K. Dobbins and now Justice Hill both gone.
How many carries is that you lose just of 2 players like that? That's a lot of carries.
Off of one, but then Hill didn't run the ball a whole lot last year.
Was he more of a special teams guy?
Yeah, he was special teams. He would have an occasional third. He was ideally a third down back, but he's never been able to do it.
It was like Darrell Williams from last year.
Le'Veon Bell's never really been a special teams guy.
Well, no, there is negative chance that Le'Veon Bell is playing special teams.
I think it takes him 2 weeks to learn the playbook, and then he'll be the RB3, and then maybe at worst RB2 if Tyson Williams can't be good.
Guess, I don't know. I guess Bell probably is the best receiving threat out of that room.
But who's out there? Duke Johnson got. If Duke Johnson didn't get signed, I think earlier they would have taken him, and that could have been a nice little guy.
I don't hate Duke. But I don't know. I'm just bummed that that's not really what I wanted to see. I get why it happened. And yes, I know he's going to be productive because Ravens scheme. And yeah, 4 years ago, he was the best running back in the NFL. Or maybe I had Zeke over him. I don't remember. But incredible talent 5 years ago. But
that was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Running back's lifespan isn't more than 4.
No, so it does not. Packers Saints. I do agree that the Packers go scorched earth. I think the Saints will be a good team this year, not week 1. Give me Packers by a touchdown.
I think it's going to hurt the Saints too that this was supposed to be a home game for them and now it's suddenly being moved. They've had time to prepare for it because they kind of knew it was coming with the hurricane, but
that's why I think they're going to lose that game just because of that.
It's not like it was when you were the Minnesota Vikings and when the roof collapsed on the Metrodome and they suddenly had to move to Detroit to play their home game. Yeah.
I can tell I just threw you off completely.
Okay. Dolphins at Patriots. Patriots are favored by 3. We have the Tua versus Mac attack game. What are we thinking, boys?
Give me mac and cheese all day. I
Mac
think
and cheese.
Belichick comes at it. It's gonna be one of those like 21 to 10. Miami goes on a 21 to 17, and it ends it on like a 4-point game. I think that defense with Hightower back, Judon's there. It's not going to be a game where you go, oh, it's going to be a high scoring game, but it's going to be a Bill Belichick-esque game.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in front of Jack here. I think this is a very low scoring game, but one thing that we always mention when the Patriots play a rookie quarterback is that they never beat the rookie quarterback never wins. Justin Herbert sucked. You look at Sam Darnold, he sucked. Josh Allen, he sucked. Every rookie quarterback when they face the Patriots, it is a dumpster fire. Guess who that defensive coordinator was for a couple of those? Brian Flores. What makes you think that Mac Jones is going to suddenly be successful when he's facing a Bill Belichick-inspired defense? I'm taking Miami.
That was my.
It's in New England, though,
solely
right?
on Brian Flores.
Yeah,
I think
I'm going to take
wins.
Miami here, and I'm going to take them not even +3. I'm going to take them money line. I think Mac Jones will be very good, and he does have the highest floor of any of the rookie quarterbacks. I think people just kind of like blanket hated on Jones.
Really quick, can we talk about the story, by the way, of Mac Jones apparently helping Cam Newton with the Patriots playbook?
That's a Bama quarterback for you.
If that's true, oh boy, Cam, what went wrong?
Well, it kind of explained how they looked, though, because didn't Mac look a little more poised in the pocket when he was playing rather than Cam? I mean, no disrespect to Cam.
Yeah, but it's just the fact that Cam already had a year with this team, and he already kind of understood how they worked, and it's like you're still learning the playbook from a rookie.
Basically handed him the job without us even knowing until now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a little weird. I've been an outspoken Cam guy the last year or so that was kind of sad to see. But I wish Cam the best. I hope he finds a place somewhere else in the NFL and can be a success moving forward.
Absolutely. But yeah,
I'm happy for Mac. I'm really happy for Mac. I was not expecting Mac Jones to be a starter before Trey Lance and Justin Fields, but here we are. Congratulations,
welcome,
Stefan.
Welcome to the NFL in 2021.
Yeah. I love it. I love his quarterbacks, though, all of them.
I saw a stat earlier. I think Alex posted it on the app. 15 teams have a new Week 1 quarterback.
Oh boy!
And then if Fields or Lance starts Week 1, that's 16. Well, I guess it doesn't matter who the Bears start. It'll be new.
Is that what we should do? Thumbs up, thumbs down on?
Ooh,
starters.
That could be exciting. Yeah, we have two more. We have 2 more games. Yeah. I do want to throw it out there that Coastal Carolina is ranked 22nd in the country. They're hosting Kansas this week. They're a 25.5-point favorite.
I love college. Yeah. Ole Miss game was like a 73.5 point.
Why did I leave? Okay, I feel like a goofball for leaving college football off the list because it came back this week and it was popping. Like I'm not a college guy.
Okay. I want to give okay. Let me give a quick shout out. Zach, one of our coworkers, did an awesome breakdown Saturday night. Went through every single ranked game. Went through some of the big games. It was awesome. Tune in Saturday nights right after the marquee game. The ABC game ends. So 10 o'clock Eastern, 10:30 Eastern. He did some banger stuff. Jack, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of a college casual, so I'm kind of surprised that I'm the one bringing this up. But I mean, from what I was seeing, like it was popping, and it feels good to have events like that with fans too, just going crazy, like everybody doing like the jump around. I saw that on Twitter that was going off. Virginia Tech.
Was it the wave at the Iowa game? They'd all waved at the children's side. That's so cool. I never knew they did that.
Really cool.
That is so cool.
And then you have the Hokies doing Enter Sandman. Like everybody's jumping around to that one.
I got chills. I was in tears listening to that.
I'm not a college football guy, and I love seeing that. Like that was chills. That
was so cool. Did you guys watch the Florida State Notre Dame game?
Oh my God.
Following it along.
Execute Notre Dame.
That was so funny because I vaguely knew where it came from, but everyone was like, "Oh, why did he say that?" Because Brian Kelly does have some off the field issues with Notre Dame. You can Google that if you wish. Pretty scary, but I don't know. I get where he's coming from, but I thought the delivery was horrendous. And he is not the guy that needs to be saying that. If Nick Saban said that, it could be funny. If Bill Belichick said that, it could be funny. If Dan Campbell said that, it would be hilarious.
Dan Campbell would like me to say something like that.
I don't know.
If Joe Judge says it, he's fired.
Yeah. Speaking of fired, Bears at Rams. Matt Nagy is on the hot seat, in my opinion. The Rams are -7 favorites. This is Sunday Night Football, by the way. Over under is 46. What are we thinking? I'm about to sneeze. So
I'll give Jack the last cut before me because I know it's his team.
I'm trying to think about the most unbiased way to say this, but the Rams are going to probably roll over the Bears because they don't have their boy Justin Fields starting. Who knows? We could see him show up later in the game if Andy Dalton struggles, but I mean,
you're talking about predicted that he would take over at the end of the first half. Someone in mainstream media said that that Fields would take over by the end of the first half. I don't remember who it is, so I can't cite them, but that would be hilarious. I don't know. I do think the Rams win. This is going to be a really low-scoring game, though. I think the Rams
are going
maybe
to
like
it's going to take a
10.
little. It's going to take the Rams a little bit of time for Matt Stafford to kind of learn the playbook and kind of adjust to how their offense works. I still think it's a really loaded offense. I still think at some point in the year they're going to break out and get pretty explosive, I feel like, but it's not going to happen right out of the way. Like you even saw with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay.
Right.
He stumbled out of the gate. He didn't do great from week one. I'm not saying the same exact thing is going to happen with Stafford, but it's not going to be 100% like what we all dream it's going to be. But I think the Rams defense is too good for the Bears offense, and I think that's what's going to win them the game.
1,000%.
Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. I hope to God that Jalen Ramsey just intercepts Darnell Mooney and clowns him on Twitter.
That'd be so funny.
It's going to be fun.
Okay, while we're on the subject of the Rams, I want to throw it out there that John Johnson will be an All-Pro this season with the Browns.
I miss John Johnson.
That is one of my hot takes. John Johnson will be an All-Pro this season. Stefan, give me your Bears-Rams rundown.
So, I think Bears have a good defense. Andy Dalton's going to get exposed. I like Andy Dalton, but we saw him with Dallas with a high-powered offense that it's like he never had that 300-yard, 3-touchdown kind of a game, and he was just like, why is he starting? And then Ben DiNucci's kicking it in. I honestly think that it's going to be the Rams only because that offense can't get it clicking. I think the Rams defense is too good, and they come out the gate hot. Jalen Ramsey and Aaron Donald plays with knives, trains with knives, all that kind of stuff.
He does.
I think Stafford comes out hot. I really think that they had an offseason. They came out and they have time to get chemistry. So I'm going to take the Rams, and I'll take them at least by 10. Yeah, only because that offense is not good enough to stop their defense.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. Like the Rams offense, they might not explode out of the gate. They might. I hope they explode out of the gate, but they're probably realistically not going to just yet. But the defense is too good for the Bears offense.
And that brings us to one final game, Monday Night Football. Oh, I do want to say that this is going to be the first game at SoFi Stadium with fans, right?
The first actual game at SoFi Stadium with fans. There were preseason games. I don't remember how many, if the Chargers played 2. I'm pretty sure the Rams played 2, the Chargers played 1. But this is going to be the first meaningful game at SoFi with fans, so I'm looking forward to it. And then the Ravens game that you're about to bring up against the Raiders, first meaningful game in Allegiant Stadium with fans. I'm
really excited. I said in the intro that can't wait to watch Lamar Jackson. There's a lot of things I'm excited for. Gus Edwards, RB1, Ronnie Stanley's pass protection. I'm excited. And one of my very first lock from Labor Day locks yesterday was Ravens 4.5. So Ravens at Raiders, Allegiant Stadium. The Ravens are favored by 4.5. The over-under is 51. Where are we leaning? Baltimore is going to smash Las Vegas.
Pretty much. Offense is too much for that defense. That defense is suspect at least.
I think there is a real chance that this could be like one of the biggest blowouts of the week.
There are a lot of other games
going to be close.
I think like San Francisco, they could struggle early. I don't know. To me, it's hard because if you look at both the Ravens and the Raiders, what do the Ravens do well? They run the football, good secondary. What do the Raiders do poorly? They have no run defense. And it's Darren Waller and a whole lot of he's there. Brian Edwards is nice. Henry Ruggs is nice, but nice players in the scope of the NFL is not moving the needle. Nice players are not beating all pros most of the time. Unless it's AJ. Well, I guess AJ Brown's really good, but that's beside the point. Then you look at what the Raiders do well. Okay, well, you have Derek Carr and Darren Waller and
who? That's about it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. And those guys you're throwing into the teeth of the Baltimore defense, the best part of the Baltimore defense. And then you look at the weaknesses. The weaknesses match up, and the Raiders' offensive line was ransacked by management last year. I don't know why. I don't know why Hudson's gone. I don't know why Trent Brown's in New England. Your guess is as good as mine to why. But Baltimore doesn't have a good pass rush, but hey, they can scheme up pressure, and there's only one to two competent. I guess Alex Leatherwood could be competent, but there's just a few competent players on the Oakland. I almost screwed it up. Vegas offensive line, and I trust Wink Martindale to just scheme it up and screw up Derek Carr. And you look on the other side, and Sammy Watkins, Week 1, Sammy Watkins legend. Marquise Brown, Week 1 legend. Who's stopping them? Who on the Vegas secondary, who in the Vegas defense can stop any one of Baltimore's weapons? Baltimore doesn't even have elite weapons. Andrews is borderline elite, but they're not going to be able to stop the running game. They're not going to be able to stop the passing game. They're not going to be able to stop anything Baltimore does. And this is the one game I am positive the Ravens are the only team I'm positive the over will hit. I'm going to individually bet on them to score. I don't know what the number is. So 5. So I don't know, 28-23. That's where Vegas has the game at, over 28. I would be shocked if the Raiders. I would be shocked if the Ravens don't score 30. I think they win by at least 10. I ironically think the under will hit because it could be like a 35-10 game. I don't see it happening with
Ravens are going to score all the points.
Imagine that. Imagine like a 49-0 game in this circumstance. Oh, hey, the Ravens did beat Miami 49-0 or 59-10, so they did win a game by 49 a couple years ago. And we're not going to talk about a 39-point win they had in Monday night game. So, with that said, those are our 16 Week 1 games. We have some bangers. Again, it starts Thursday at 8 Eastern, right after you watch Timeout with You Stadium. Timeout should be back. I hope it's back. Otherwise, that plug is pointless. But yeah, let's transition. But first, make sure you like the stream, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell. It's right next to, if you have subscribed, right? Let's see, you have subscribed. Yeah, ring that bell. So you get notified when we go live. You get notified when I post stuff, So good stuff. Make sure you, again, like the stream, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We accept super chats now. Those are much appreciated. Super chats and super stickers. We appreciate you for helping us do what we love to do. And with that, Jack, do you want to do a little bit of hockey news before we transition back to football?
Yeah, I'll skim through hockey news really quick. We have the NHL. This has been kind of going back and forth for a long time. Will they allow their players to play at the 2022 Winter Olympics in Beijing? It finally got confirmed a couple days ago that it is happening. So we're going to see hockey players finally playing back at the Olympics. I'm hyped for it because I think the competition is a lot better with those players in there. It felt a little empty in 2018 when they didn't get to play there. So I think it's going to be hyped to see them back. What else do we have? Let's talk uniforms, by the way. The Minnesota Wild recently unveiled.
I haven't seen it.
I do have a picture. I'm going to bring it up right now. They have revealed their Winter Classic jersey for 2022. And there it is. Okay. What do you guys think?
It's looking a lot like Christmas.
I really like that. I don't know who I would necessarily buy a jersey of, but I really like it. I think it's kind of like ugly sweater vibes, but like good ugly sweater vibes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that's kind of where we're at right now. There's a lot of text on it, and I feel like text has to be pulled off correctly, or it's
Yeah.
not going to look great. I think it's all right. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's just I see where you're coming from with the sweater thing. Like it definitely has that vibe about it, but it's pretty on brand for what teams like to do at the Winter Classic. They like to do like these faux back uniforms. So
It's better than those Packer uniforms we saw.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Amen to that.
yeah, but there you go. That's what that's what the Minnesota Wild will be wearing at the Winter Classic. That's at Target Field on New Year's Day.
Love it.
They're playing against the St. Louis Blues. The Blues, I think, this week are going to reveal theirs. So we're
Very
looking
cool.
forward to that.
Very cool.
What else? We have the Canadians trading for Christian Dvorak because Jesperi Kotkaniemi got offer sheeted, so he ended up going to Carolina, and the Canadians replaced him by trading 2 draft picks to Arizona. Speaking of Arizona, they have submitted a bid to build a new stadium in Tempe because for whatever reason, the city of Glendale decided to cut their lease. So after this upcoming year, the Coyotes will be out of, I don't know how to pronounce it, like Gila River Arena. Yeah. Frankie wants me to join the fantasy league. If we're done with this show, I will join. If we're done in time for the draft.
Yeah, and I just want to address my comment. I have my Bovada account pulled up. So the first person to comment a value, that's how much I'm going to put into my betting account for this weekend. Maximum of I don't know. Maximum of $1,000. Maximum of $1,000. I would prefer not to do $1,000.
Don't jump right up to $1,000, but
yeah. But give me like a meaningful amount. So, give me a meaningful amount. So first comment, give me a meaningful amount, something that means something to you, something that I don't know could be a prediction. I don't know. Let me think. So let's say you think Patrick Mahomes breaks the passing yards record. Okay, bet $55. 5,500 yards. Or let's say you think Brady throws 60 touchdowns, $60. Whatever it may be, just drop a number in the comments. We appreciate it. With that said, let's jump back to some NFL. We have some Texas-sized quarterbacks to talk about. Tyrod Taylor, we mentioned, was the starting quarterback for the Houston Texans. Deshaun Watson will be QB3. And Dak Prescott is good to go for the opener.
Yeah.
Frankie, you didn't understand the assignment. Although I did say this on my Labor Day show yesterday that I have the Steelers over 8.5. But with that said, Stefan, sorry I cut you off.
No, you're good. I think honestly, Dak, week 3 could be 100% healthy. Tyrod Taylor, I don't really see much of it. I think the Texans are going to tank, and they're just going to clean house, clear contracts, try to come back the next 2 years, rebuild, try to deal Deshaun. But I don't know. Tyrod is Tyrod at the end of the day. I mean, we saw it happen in the Chargers. We saw it happen with the Bills. Are they trying to groom a quarterback that he has to start for a few weeks and then get benched for?
Man, so Davis Mills is a future All-Pro? Is that what you're telling me?
Oh boy, that's what this is looking like right now.
Are the Texans smarter than we think they are?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So, what's the history of Tyrod Taylor? Is he started with Baltimore? They won the Super Bowl his rookie season, and then he goes to Buffalo. He's kind of like replaced by Josh Allen, but he's like they go in a different direction that offseason, right? So if I remember correctly, he leaves in free agency. They immediately draft Josh Allen, goes to Cleveland, who has Baker Mayfield, right? Then boom, that's 3 quarterbacks there. Then he goes to the Chargers, plays a little bit behind Rivers, starts week 1 of 2020, then gets his lung punctured. So that's Joe Flacco, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert. Is Davis Mills going to win a Super Bowl with the Houston Texans? Is he a future All-Pro?
I'm going to put $1 bet on that just a
$1 bet on that.
$1 bet on
keepings.
Just I mean it's unlikely. to see that happen
$1
again,
$1
but,
bet on Dave. Actually, I can look up his rookie of the year odds. Let me look up that real quick.
Yeah, I'll just take Texans Super Bowl odds or Texans.
Yeah. Oh my
God.
gosh.
One or the other.
Did either of you watch the Dolphins show the other day?
Did not.
What about it?
Okay. Connor said a certain Houston Texans were a sleeper team to win the Super Bowl.
Connor.
You can cash at me if you want to throw money away. I'll easily take it.
Oh boy.
I can't find the futures. I would have to imagine he's pretty low. Oh, frick you, NFL.
He's so low that you put any bet on it, they will just give you the money. And be like, this is here. You get $1 million for $1 bet.
Ooh. Okay. Dak Prescott over under 13 rushing yards.
Over. Wait. Rushing yards week 1 or?
Yeah, week 1.
Yeah, over.
Okay, this is fun. I don't know how much you guys have
yeah.
used Bovada, but they have some fun little props that you can do. Tony Pollard over under 19 yards.
Over.
I think I agree with you.
Amari Cooper 9.5.
I'm not on receiving. Okay, futures. Let me try to look at the futures because this is a fun bet. If it works, it would be a fun bet because you do have the quarterback value and then you have the Tyrod Taylor value. Imagine if you had thrown money on Justin Herbert to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then Tyrod starts week 1 and you're just like angry at the world, and then boom, he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. So that's swell. We did touch on the Ravens signed Le'Veon Bell to the practice squad.
How you feeling? Are you healing up right now? You good?
I still want to throw things. That's how I feel.
Here's an interesting one that Josina Anderson just tweeted this. Just got off the phone with running back Latavius Murray. He told me I'm willing to discuss an opportunity with anyone interested in me. At the same time, Baltimore is a team that was impacted by injuries, has a great chance of winning, and a great coaching staff. I just want to get to work. What do you think about that?
I mean,
yeah, he was ever cheaper. I think Bell probably gives you a little bit more as a receiver than Latavius does, but I don't know. Murray's probably a better runner at this point. So
I think Murray's better. I think so. In a hypothetical world, rushing wise, I think Bell stays on the practice squad. They could bring in Latavius Murray because he still is like more game ready, more like he's more ready to go when it comes to like a game situation.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Fair.
But I was surprised too that they let him go for that. He didn't want to take the pay cut, and they just cut him like that.
Yeah, I was not expecting to see Latavius Murray cut today, but
he's drafted in so many leagues.
Yeah, it happens. All right, do you want to head over to hot takes, or do you have any other NFL? All right.
Hot takes time.
Ooh, how do we feel about Chris Godwin has been limited in practice?
I think
do you think he plays Thursday? Okay,
might be a precaution.
Yeah, I think he plays. I think it's going to be the Antonio Brown, Mike Evans show.
Do we have the hot take meter?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Man, I'm always good at a lot of things, and then I forget to do one little simple task. Okay, we have I have it up on my laptop. Share screen, window, hot take-o-meter, share, go full screen. Okay. Okay. And Frankie wants you to join the league there, Jack.
I know. I'm figuring it out right now.
Okay, here we go. Hot take numero uno. Our friend Frank FTV 1939. Water is 25% wet.
We had this discussion last week.
Yeah,
and it just never gets resolved. It's just I can never feel comfortable with what we say. Is it wet?
I don't know. You know what is wet? My jumper. All right. Nighthawk says, U Stadium is better than Bleacher Report.
We try, and we succeed most of the time.
I think we succeed at that.
I don't know. I know Nick's probably mad at me that I haven't been pushing a whole lot lately, but hey, I try.
We're all doing the best we can.
Yes. Okay. This is a big one. This is from Mount Becton. The Jets make the playoffs.
Jabril Peppers.
Jabril Peppers.
Yeah, where would Jabril go on this?
The very top of Pepper.
And where would Julius go on this?
Oh, I think Julius takes the top one over Jabril out of respect.
Yeah. Oh, he was so gnarly to watch. Shout out to the Panthers. I don't see it with New York.
They're not winning over 7 games.
Yeah. So here's my general rule of thumb when it comes to if a team can make the playoffs. Look at the roster, right? And then see if it's a good roster, maybe. The Jets don't have a good roster. Then, okay, you go to the division. Who else is in the division? If it's the NFC East, maybe. The Giants could win that division. The Eagles could win. Any team could win that division. But the Jets play in a division that has 3 of my top 12 teams in football. The Bills, I agree, the Bills could be overrated. I agree the Patriots can be overrated. And I agree the Dolphins can be overrated. But the issue is that overratedness is not a gigantic dip, right? The Jets are a team that won 2 games for a reason last season. And honestly, they probably should have lost more than the 14 games. They had the goofy win against the Rams, the Browns didn't have a wide receiver. Now, I know they had the field goal BS against the Patriots, and they had the Lamar Jackson play against the Raiders. The Patriots and Raiders were better teams. I don't think anyone's disputing that. They were the worst team in all 16 games they played. Their 2 wins were a little fluky, quarterbacked by Jared Goff and a Baker Mayfield without wide receivers. Okay, whatever. It happens, but just a strange all the way around. I don't think this Jets team is very good, but when I say they're a 4-win team, in my head, they won 0 games last year. In my head, they were the worst team in football. They were even worse than Jacksonville. So they're improving by 4 games, but realize that when I think of them, I'm thinking they're going from 0 wins to 4 wins. And this is the same thing I was thinking with the Steelers last year, that they're going to go from 8 wins to 12, 8 wins to 11 wins. That sounds like a big jump, but in reality, no, it's just going to be better quarterback play. So if you have Ben for the full season, you probably win 9 or 10 games. So I don't think they were that much better, but I think the Jets won 4, maybe 5 games. It's a goofy schedule. They have some winnable games. They play Carolina, they play Atlanta, but both of those are away from home. One's in London, the other's in Charlotte. You're going to get slapped by Tampa. You're going to get slapped by New Orleans. You're going to get slapped by Tennessee. You're going to get slapped by Indy. Yeah, you're going to get – and you probably can beat Houston. You maybe can beat Jacksonville, too. That's an exciting game later in the season. I don't see it with the Jets. I just don't. I just don't. In no way, shape, or form. Yeah, I went on a lot longer than I needed to on that one. Okay. This is from Mike, 1625. Nearing the ghost pepper side, but the Jags have a top 10 run defense this year.
They do play Tyrod Taylor twice.
They play Derrick Henry. Yeah, I think Derrick Henry on your schedule twice just totally negates everything he said.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, run defense is so much of an effort thing, and I don't want to question the heart of the players, but I do question how much they're going to care about Urban Meyer and how much Urban Meyer is going to connect to them. And if you don't care about your head coach, why are you going to put yourself on the line every little play? Like, why? Why are you doing that? So, just from the sake of, I don't think they're going to buy into Urban Meyer. I don't think this is going to be a very good run defense. I don't think it's going to be a good defense in general. I'm excited to see the offense. I'm excited to see Lawrence and company, but I think this is you're going to get killed defensively if you're Jacksonville, and Henry's going to run for 400 or 500 yards over 2 games.
I was going to say in a game. I can see that.
Yeah, in a game. Ooh, yeah, Melvin Gordon, Samaje Perine, LaDainian Tomlinson levels of dominance there. All right.
Real quick, if anybody's out here watch, I joined the fantasy league, so let me know what I should name my team.
Okay.
Aaron Donald Transit Knives.
Honestly.
Ooh, okay. My favorite name is Earl Thomas's Only Family account.
I had one for J.K. Dobbins. It was Baskin Dobbins, and I wanted to use it, but
I wanted to go with that one you said. What is it, like 2 girlies, 1 cup? Is that
yeah, that one's funny. I also like Cromartie's Condoms.
so
This
ridiculous.
is taking quite a turn.
I'm admitting right now I'm gonna fail. I'm gonna finish dead last in this fantasy league. I'm not committed to it at all, but I mean we'll give it a shot. Why not? Screw it.
You also have Tre'Davious White's Tre'Davious White's goalie academy. Kareem Hunt's kicking academy. Tyreek Hill's daycare. This is in honor of our next hot take, Antonio Brown's furniture company.
Oh goodness.
So this is from Steel City Jake, friend of the show. Antonio Brown is undoubtedly still a top 5 receiver.
I think so.
I think after because all this craziness that's happened has of course derailed the situation. Raiders, Patriots, now Bucks. I think the first full season with the offseason, it's gonna be business is booming again. Arians even said it. Arians came out and said it yesterday. He looks like maybe from 5 years ago, and that was a scary guy.
I'm really excited to see Antonio Brown again. I know I hated him as a Steeler, but he's a special player. And I wish he wasn't. I wish he didn't have 10 years with the Steelers. All right, this one, just prepare yourself. Hold on to your seats. Hold on to all your body parts. Make sure your hands and legs are within your frame. Okay. This is from S. Caruso 13. Prepare yourself. Jets win the division. Bills team goes out on COVID protocols. Pats aren't as good as people think. Dolphins crumble as an organization.
No, I just don't. There's no world, no reality that you can show me the Jets are the best team in the AFC East.
So you're pretty much saying the Jets win the division because the Bills get COVID. Are you kidding me?
Most of the team is vaccinated. That's like I know people like to point out
how many games that has to happen.
Yeah, and I don't know, and even with the vaccination thing, I don't want to talk about it, but.
It's a touchy subject for sure.
Yeah, most players in the league are vaccinated, and the NFL, if you're vaccinated, the NFL probably really doesn't care. If you're sick, you're sick. If you have symptoms, then okay. But I don't know. I don't know.
I'll put the mortgage that they don't.
Yeah, I don't see it.
And there's no disrespect to them. It's just they're not ready yet.
Yeah, in a
the other teams are just better.
Okay, is it a hot take to say Zach Wilson will end the season as a top 20 quarterback?
No, it's not bad. I mean, they're gonna have him out there every chance they get. He's gonna learn. He's gonna be out. He's gonna have the games where they get blown out, the games where it's close and he loses it, and the game where he goes off and they're like, "This is what we want you to be, son."
Yeah, I'm really excited to see Zach Wilson play this year. He was my quarterback too. I'm kind of in the minority there on the U Stadium app, but hey, I think Zach Wilson's gonna be good this year. Jumping back to the Antonio Brown train, this is from Nick L. Antonio Brown, 1,200 yards and 10 tutties.
If Godwin misses a few games, Evans misses a few games, I can definitely see it with that extra game. But it's tough because
honestly, he might get it even if everyone's healthy. He might get it. Antonio Brown was neck and neck with Evans and Godwin in terms of targets when he played. This is I think historically the mark has been 1,000 yards. Like a trio with 1,000 yards, like the 04 Patriot, or the 04 Clots, the 08 Cardinals. I think the Bucks could join that group, and you give that extra game, and it might be 3 guys go for 1,100 yards, 3 guys go for 1,200 yards. I don't think.
Do the math. If Brady's expected 5,000 yards. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because Brock's not going to get over 600 yards.
Yeah, and I think you're going to have a variety of guys pick up the other 1,400. But I don't know. I could see a world that all 3 of them get 1,200 yards.
I can't wait for this.
That is going to be so exciting. Oh, and I'm so sad that J.K. Dobbins got hurt, so the Ravens aren't going to have 3 1,000-yard rushers.
They're going to have 2 at least. Gus the Bus.
Yeah, Gus Bus. Yeah, he's projected to get 1,200 yards on.
I am also playing a little favorite. I had to draft him. I like him though, and I'm just I want him to be successful. Please be what J.K. Dobbins was supposed to be. Slightly.
Yeah. Okay. This is from Bam Bam. He tags S Caruso 13. Takes can't go above Pepper X. This does. Jack, you might have to adjust the hot take-o-meter to include the time that dude said the Jets were going to win the division all the way at the top.
It must be a sad place sometimes to be in like that area.
It's gonna be like above the sign where it says hot take meter. It's gonna be that high.
Yeah, we could have like an epic zoom out sequence that like it goes all the way to like the moon. That man, if I was a more talented video editor, that would be really fun to
I would
edit.
love to figure out how to animate that.
Oh man! So shout out to Bam Bam for that W. This is from Larkin Gaskin, Offensive Player of the Year.
I don't trust that Miami running back trio.
No,
They're at all.
I don't know if he's going to be a wide receiver. I don't even know if he's going to be a running back one. So in Miami, I like Salvin Ahmed. He's fun.
Malcolm Brown's going to vulture, a good part of those carries. He's still kind of not a consistent guy, but he's still decently good. So and Gaskin wasn't the healthiest person last year, if I'm not mistaken, right? He had a few games with some injury.
He was banged up a little bit.
So, I mean, I don't know. It's tough.
All right, we finished with 2 Jordan Love takes. First from J.M. Blake, 52. Jordan Love will get some playing time this season and disappoint.
Yeah, when they're up by 35.
Yeah, Gutekunst is fired, and the Packers will replace both Love and Rodgers.
I think Rodgers leaves on his own season.
Yeah, this season. Well, after the season, they would replace both of them.
After the season seems a little bit more feasible considering. Yeah,
I guess this is saying that in September of 2022, Jordan Love is not the starter, Aaron Rodgers is not the starter, and Brian Gutekunst is not the general manager.
I can see 2 out of those 3 things.
All that changeover happening in 1 year.
Yeah,
I think I agree.
That's Carolina Reaper, honestly.
2 of those 3, maybe. I don't know, because I think. I don't think you fire Gutekunst. That's the issue. And even if Rodgers doesn't hit, why are there so many noises? If Love doesn't hit, then you're not firing Gutekunst because of that. He's built this team into a very, very talented team.
And who are they going to go after if they cut Love?
Yeah,
they're not going to have a high draft pick. They're not going to sign anyone unless someone releases.
All the quarterback prospects looked ugly week 1. The only ones that I thought were decent were Bryce Young, but he's a freshman. And
shout out to the ACC also for losing every single game this weekend.
They did what?
If I'm not mistaken, the ACC lost every game.
Outside of conference, yeah. I know Virginia Tech did beat North Carolina, but that's an interconference game. Wow, I didn't realize that.
It was rough for them, yeah.
Wow.
It was like that take when the Big Ten had lost every single bowl game a few years ago. It was just terrible.
All right, last take, and we're going to wrap it up. We have Jaden Brew. Aaron Rodgers struggles, and Jordan Love comes out and balls. They trade Rodgers by the trade deadline.
By the deadline? No.
I can't see Rodgers sucking.
The Packers already made it clear that Aaron Rodgers controls his destiny from this point out.
And the issue there is, how are you? Who are you? If Rodgers struggles, let's say Rodgers looks like he's 38. Who's trading for him? Who?
Denver,
you're not going to get
Teddy Bridgewater.
No one's going to want to make a move for an aging Aaron Rodgers.
And especially you don't want to do. It's not like the NBA where you can trade someone mid-season, they can come in and play. The Texans had a
quarterback too.
Yeah, and the Texans had to deactivate Deshaun Watson because it's like, all right, it's 5 days away from the season. You're not going to be able to, learn the playbook. Le'Veon Bell still can't play week 1 or 2 because you don't know the playbook. It's not, all right, Aaron Rodgers is so good, let's pop you in and throw 1,000 yards to these 3 receivers.
And it's just, I don't know. This one's weird because the only way the Packers would think about trading him is if he sucks. But if he sucks, then no team would want to trade for him, right? Does that make sense? Right? So if he's struggling, Green Bay's not going to get the resources they need. If he's balling out, you're not going to trade him, right? You're not going to trade him for all of the first-round picks you can acquire. How many draft classes do you think the Packers would need to trade Aaron Rodgers? Like just full draft class, first-round pick, second-round pick, all the way down to 7, like Ricky Williams style. I'm thinking you got to give up 2 full drafts and maybe tack on a first and a second. I think you can trade.
It's not worth it.
Yeah, because there's no equivalent value for Aaron Rodgers. There's no feasible trade for Rodgers. Even like Denver, you can say, okay, they have a loaded roster and all they need is a quarterback. Okay, well, if you trade the farm for Rodgers, guess what? Rodgers is 38, like 38, whatever. You just sucked the entire lifeblood out of your depth, really. Like moving forward, you have to sign guys off the street, not practice squad guys, undrafted free agents to take the spot of your free agent guys. You know, the Patrick Surtains of the world, the Ojemudias of the world that have been drafted in the last couple of years, Javonte Williams, Albert O. You are going to undrafted receivers, undrafted tight ends, undrafted linemen, There are teams that can do that. The Ravens, I think for like 19 of the last 20 years, they've had an undrafted guy make the roster. But that's unexpected. They don't actively plan. You don't plan for your Ardarius Washington to outplay Sean Wade. You know, you don't plan for that. So Denver would be in a really bad spot if they did that.
Okay, so really quickly, I pulled up the stat. The ACC in week 1, it was Clemson, Georgia. UNCVA lost. Miami, Alabama lost. Duke versus Charlotte lost. Georgia Tech versus Illinois lost. Florida State versus Notre Dame lost. And Louisville versus Ole Miss lost.
Okay, what about Syracuse?
I think he said Syracuse won, so it might have been the only team that won. But I might have misquoted it. But that is a rough week to be in the ACC right now.
Yeah. Youch. So, oh boy. Well, with that said, anything else you guys want to touch on before? Hopefully, Frankie's setting up the live, so I don't have to make it. And
I don't think we're gonna live stream the draft.
Yeah,
I think we've talked about that for a second.
I gotta eat something.
We are all going to, or I'm going to get laughed at for how terrible my team is.
I'm winning the league, just letting you guys know. I've got the 5th pick. I'm already going to take out the Camaro.
You and I, our levels of confidence in this league are completely different. You're like all gung-ho. Yeah. Just pay me now before it ends. And I'm just like, have fun, guys.
I've also upgraded from last week's show. Everyone who caught the whole sheet talk we had, I was able to get a green screen. I've got a new mic and camera and headphones. Yeah,
it's kind of
boring. Show the Pringles can. Show the Pringles can.
Not sponsored, by the way.
That's beautiful.
So that is yes.
And my voice cracked too when I said that. That's always a good time.
All right. Well, I can wrap this up. Everyone good?
I think we're good. We are bottom line just super happy to have football back this Thursday. The kickoff game. We can't wait.
8 o'clock Eastern, right after timeout with you Stadium. So. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like the channel, subscribe to us,
follow us on all.
I try to do daily content. It can be difficult, but I try to do. Ring the bell for sure. I try to do daily content. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram. We have some banger stuff coming up. The Option guys have been activating their fantasy account with us, or their fantasy Twitter account with us. Super chat, super stickers. If you have any last second, we'd love those. It's much appreciated. Also, if you name Jack's team in the comments, or tell me how much money I should drop into Bovada.
I kind of came up with a name for it already. Somebody suggested a good one. It's inspired by Joe Buck, his call of Mitchell down to the 45. So there you go.
That's a good one. All right. I might drop $100 in there. I can do it on my Discover card, so it should be okay. I wish I could do it through PayPal so I could get some cash back, but that's beside the point. With that said, thank you, everyone, for watching, and make sure you remember that Aaron Donald doesn't